We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers.
Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming tenants in 71. And what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Chicago Bears. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Right to the air is Burrow. And that's complete to the tight end, Devin Asiasi. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Go.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 31-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
Jonathan Jones there to make the stop. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. That is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Evan McPherson for the extra point.
And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals.
Makes the score. Bengals 7, Bears nothing. Evan McPherson to kick off once more.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
The Bears at 3 and 6 now in the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ran it last time, now Fields to throw.
Thrown across his body and it's intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
11 empty, stop.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
That was well defense right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds it and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Burrow looking to pass. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. First carry now for David Montgomery. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
It's a gain of a yard.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
The end of the first quarter with the score Bengals 10, Bears nothing.
Running for it, Montgomery. Yeah, they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field. He wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there. I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears have got it back to within a score.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
A little old school eye.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt, he's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Here we go, here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow.
Open man downfield is Chase. He's got it.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here we go.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Here we go, here we go. 11.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
11, empty, tight. 11, empty, tight.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. Buying time to his left. Throwing the out route, finding Boyd for the completion.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out first downs, and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? In motion goes the tight end.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. Now it's Burrow. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Mixon pushes him over. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle.
McPherson's kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Now a throw here to his running back. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
From the 39,
Fields. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow.
He's got his man on the crossing route. This is Higgins.
Here we go.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, we got to go score.
Now Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
On one, right?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
11 empty.
They snapped that at 1. Now it's Burrow. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
McPherson's kick is good.
And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A final shot before the break. Fields.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this 2nd half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. There, they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Play action. It's Fields. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That time they pick up a 24 yards on the keeper. 1st down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Fields.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Now Fields. Got a man. That's Ayuk.
And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. And they'll remain 2 scores back as this holds at a 9-point advantage. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not, it's not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here we go, here we go.
2nd and 9.
Burrow will throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3. Here's Burrow.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Close. 11 MT.
Mixon with a first down carry. And room there to work it inside the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
On one, ready?
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. Play action. It's Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jamar Chase, 28 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
I'm glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. Flush to his right. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing on third down, Fields. And that will be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10.
On one, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Now a second down and 6.
11.
There's the option going right. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
On third down, Burrow. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That third down conversion good for 23.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
12. 11, Thomas.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
11.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
11
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Got a man open, it's Chase.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Here we go.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead opens up now to 22 points.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On third down, they go Montgomery. And some room to work. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Now it's Fields. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at third down and long.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Trey Hendrickson drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up fourth down.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Fourth down. Fields has to have this one. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on fourth down, unable to convert. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So from the 36 now, first and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got his man. That's Sample, the tight end. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Drew Sample, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
To try again after the sack.
Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
McPherson on for the point after.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Fields now to throw.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Fields.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields alluding, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Back to throw. Fields.
Hard throw, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 4th down, Fields. He'll get this into the hands of Aiyuk.
And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
On one, right?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Here we go, here we go. 11, 11, 11.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Burrow on play action. Rolling to his right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack.